I always feel like I have to respond to the people controlling my experience online because they're a bunch of idiots that don't know what I actually know and think they need to tell me things that they think I don't understand. Meanwhile, from my perspective, it's like a bunch of elementary school kids trying to tell me what I learned in college is incorrect. It's exactly like that. It's fucking irritating. But basically, news stories with similar words in them aren't the same stories. Kids being intentionally targeted in Israel is not the same thing as a war zone where people aren't moving their kids out of the way when they're told to, or an accident, like an actual accident, which happens, or a crazy person on the good guy side doing crazy things. They always get punished, and that shit always gets exposed fairly quickly, at least when it comes to the Middle East. There are people who have a vested interest in the narratives of their human shields and gaining support, because that's how the scams have always worked, gaining support from idiots that can't tell one story from another and are willing to throw money at any sad story, even if it's manufactured by a bunch of gangs that have effectively enslaved children in order to be able to grow people to use as human shields. People that they can raise as perpetual victims, and their victimhood is supported by people who think that they're good guys. When in reality, all they're supporting is mass murder and enslavement to mass murder. It's part of the military industrial complex they claim to be against. See, here's the thing. When you go against a system that has tendrils into everything, you're just going to become their weapon as soon as you start trying to pull things together to use against them, like you're in some kind of war you understand and can win. I mean, in the end, these are all humans doing what they think they need to do to survive. And then there's other humans that don't think they need to do that. Why? Feelings, basically. Nobody's old enough or wise enough to understand any of the stuff that's going on because all they know is what they learned from the scammers, literally. And this shit's been going on for decades and decades and decades. Ever since the United States freed itself from the crazy people of the world, they have been trying to bring us back in, and it succeeded. When did we stop being isolationists? When did all the wars start? Basically, every time we've got big wars, somebody's trying to take something from somebody else. If they just wanted the land, they would just wipe people out. And you'd never hear anything. You'd never hear any complaints. They want slaves. They want slaves that look different than themselves so that the people who enslave don't sympathize. It has nothing to do with genetic superiority or anything like that, but it has everything to do with genealogy and breeding, because that's what you need to understand in order to be able to control humans on a slavery-based level. So, yeah, the Middle East war shouldn't even be happening. You know, the usual conflicts are nonstop with the structural dynamics of culture and society in the world. That's a problem everybody knows. Everybody knows. Whether you're in it or outside of it, there's no real outside. But everybody knows this. That's why everybody tries very hard not to push anybody's buttons. But there's a group of people who are professional button pushers, and their skin is nothing but buttons. And they're just looking for an excuse to throw everybody into a death spiral. And they have the control over the narratives. You know, someone decided to tell the elites, and by elites I mean greedy assholes, because anybody can be this kind of person in their mind. Somebody told them that in order to be an alpha, you basically had to be a psychopath. I wonder where that came from. Who romanticizes psychopaths? Men? It's the patriarchy, right? All narratives are complete and total bullshit. The truth is way simpler. It's the thing that they make you give up into every time they want you to give up your fight to try to make things better, or wishing for things to be better or different. That thing we give up into, that's what slavery is. That's the power structure, that's the dynamics. Once you throw out all the illusion and the fantasy and see things for as it really is, it's just a giant brothel casino. It's a giant plantation